Hello and welcome to today's pandemic update video for Tuesday, August 9th, 2022. 98% of the country is in high or substantial levels of transmission, and just about 2% of the country is in moderate to low levels of transmission. Today's variance proportions are: the BA.5 variant is 87.1% of the cases. The BA.4 variant is 6.6% of the cases. BA.4.6 is 4.8% of the cases. The BA.2.12.1 is 1.5% of the cases. And BA.2 is almost non-existent. For a more detailed look at the variant proportions for the United States and the rest of the world, refer to our previous video that we did earlier on the variant update. Taking a look at cases around the country. Last week we were talking about how the BA.5 wave has peaked and how cases were starting to fall. This week we're seeing something a little bit different. Cases are not really falling as much, but they're also not rising. They're really not going much of anywhere, and they're remaining at high levels of transmission. This is bad. This is not a good thing at all. This is telling us that perhaps that BA.4.6 variant starting to gain some ground in some areas, and it's preventing the cases from falling on a national level. So if we do head into another wave in a couple of weeks, it's not going to be pretty. We're going to rise off of where we're already at. And part of the problem is schools starting to go back. Like Tennessee alone, I was reading last week, had 3,000 student cases, kid cases of COVID, just in children alone. So you can definitely start to see the effects of back to school. So while BA.5 has peaked, it's not dropping because now we're seeing a resurgence of transmission from all this moving activity, going back to school, back on the school bus, the cafeteria, all that sort of stuff. Well, anywho, today's cases are 170,328. That's a lot of cases. Taking a look at deaths. Deaths are also, they have been actually not peaking, but have been steadily increasing for week after week after week. And you'll see here, it's now up 18.2%. And this is a very troubling sign. So 600 deaths added today. And if we go back and look at the previous day, I can't do that, but on Monday it was over 400. I think it was around 412. The point is, it's only Tuesday. We're already over 1,000 deaths on this week. That's not good. And remember, Wednesday is always the highest death day of the week because the most amount of states report on Wednesdays. And last Wednesday was over 1,000 deaths. If that should happen tomorrow, we'll already be at 2,000 deaths on the week. Not good. Testing. 830,842 tests were added to the total today, so that's slightly better. I like to see it over 1 million. Hospitalizations kind of leveled off, rose slightly today. 42,224 people in the hospital, that's up by 33. ICU, 4,892 people in the ICU, that's up by 67. And generally it's a mixed bag across the country. What you're going to see is there are some areas that did rise today, and we'll get into that as we move along here. Taking a look at today's cases. California, 47,632 cases. Remember, this is a multi-day total going back to the end of last week. So while this is lower than last week's update on Tuesday, that's still a lot of cases, and that's not a number to be proud of by any means. Texas, 9,122 cases. For some reason, it's saying here Texas is rising again. Not understanding that. Maybe it's because of the huge multi-day total they did yesterday. Not 100% sure. Florida, 8,293 cases. Also, again, not sure why it's saying there's a 14.5% rise. New York, 5,200 cases. Illinois, 4,000 cases. Pennsylvania, 6,800 cases. Michigan, this is a weekly number, 16,137 cases. New Jersey, 3,400 cases. Tennessee, over 5,000 cases. Gotta think some of them are probably kid cases increasing because, like I said last week, they had a huge number of kid cases. Virginia, 2,700 cases. Wisconsin, 1,800 cases. Then we come down to this weekly total from South Carolina. 31,943 cases. And if you notice here, it's not given a percentage. That is a weekly total, if not multi-week total. Not sure what the deal is there, but that's a really high count for South Carolina. Colorado, over 3,000. Alabama 2,700. Kentucky today reports 814. Maryland 3,700. Oklahoma 3,000. And so on. You get the idea here of how the cases are doing. Wyoming, this is a weekly total, 1,151 new cases. Taking a look here at Walgreens data, it is starting to rise again, indicating we may be starting to come into the next wave already. We've been watching this here, and we're seeing here more and more red is showing up on the map, which is indicating a resurgence. And mind you, these northern states like Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, you come up here to Minnesota, all the far north states are not back in school yet. Some of them are going to be going back soon. Ohio's going to be going back soon. The southern states will be going back soon. But the Northeast, general rule of thumb is end of August or after Labor Day. That's the way it's always been up here. And the fact it's already rising, that's concerning. Very concerning that a new wave may already be in the picture. And this space in between waves is getting really short. I mean, we're hardly, ever since spring, you had the BA.2 variant. Then that just went right into the BA.2.12 variant. And before that completes, the BA.5 variant, and already here, possibly a BA.4.6 wave or a second BA.5 wave. Yeah, this is not good at all. Texas positivity today is at 43.5%. Speaking of Texas positivity, hospitalizations in Texas are at 3,400, and the testing data shows that positivity has dropped on the Texas state level to 27.51%. New York State positivity today is at an even 10%. Hospitalizations in New York State, like they always do on Tuesday, during a period of leveling or slightly rising, they did slightly rise today to 2,601. So that's telling me New York State as well is not really dropping right now. They're leveling off as well. And we saw the positivity. That's a higher than normal positivity. So New York State may be at the beginning of yet another wave already. Too soon to say. Let's see what happens as the week progresses and we go into next week. Taking a look at international numbers here. India, 13,000 cases. France, 38,000 cases, 111 deaths. Brazil, 30,220 cases, but 359 deaths. That's really bad. Italy, 43,000 new cases, 177 deaths. Again, really bad. South Korea, cases continue to rise. 149,819 and 40 deaths. Japan added 172,998 cases, so that's slightly lower than last week, but 162 deaths. Australia, 26,530 cases, 104 deaths. All right, monkeypox outbreak real quickly. Today, on the worldwide level, we are over 30,000 cases, 31,110 cases, and on worldwide level, 1,263 cases were added today. The United States added another 559 cases. We are inching closer to that 10,000 mark. We may pass it tomorrow, if not tomorrow, definitely on Thursday. Spain added 192 cases. UK added another 146 cases. Unfortunately, some sad news out of the UK. They are now switching to weekly updates. So before it was twice a week, now it's only going to be once a week. I don't know why. It's silly when you're dealing with a virus that is clearly out of control at the moment. But Italy, 54 more cases. Peru, 42 more cases. Belgium, 64 more cases. And we'll leave it at that. My daily reminders for you today. Continue to wash your hands. Wear gloves when you're going to get gas, grocery shopping, or any other activity that requires a lot of touching. And please, continue to wear a mask everywhere you go. We are in a high level of transmission right now. Cases have leveled off and stopped dropping at a very high level, and we might be on the cusp of another wave. Please do not let your guard down right now. Schools are about to open back up. Things are going to be really, really bad over the next several weeks and heading into fall. I mean, at some point we could see record cases. Even though that they may not all get reported, we may see record cases. And things are about to really get bad. Deaths are continuing to rise right now. Much like what they did last year, not at the same levels as last year, but still at a totally unacceptable level. We are not at the point that the White House thinks we're almost preventing every death. That is not true. Deaths are really high right now. Cases are really high right now. Things are really bad. Okay? Remember, we are all in this together. And please hit like and subscribe down below. And stay safe, everyone. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.